chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets. Welcome to the ChuggieBets podcast. This is week 1 of the NFL. I'm joined here with Andy. I'm joined here with Al. I'm joined here with the tax man, Danny. We're going to chug a beer to get started like we normally do.
Cheers.
Now, everyone, do you feel that? Labor Day's passed, there may be a little more chill in the air, and Chris Berman awoke from his hibernation. It's football season, boys, and we got a lot of plays on today. We're going to go through all the week 1 plays that we haven't anything on, talk about a few games, our favorite bets, and then we'll handle it from there. But before we do anything else, make sure you follow us and subscribe to all the podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on anywhere you can get the podcast, and you can go to our home base, which is our TikTok. And if you go to TikTok, we got 2 special bets coming up for Sunday night and Monday night. So make sure you follow that. So, and at the end of this podcast, we're going to talk about teasers. But before we get to any of that, let's start off with the games. We got Buffalo, the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, going to the home of the Super Bowl champs in the LA Rams. I think the line is currently Buffalo minus 2.5. And Danny, what's your thoughts on this?
So this is a tough game to bet. I love Josh Allen. I'm a Dolphins fan, so it's hard to bet on the Bills. Mostly Super Bowl is a good game, and I love the Rams. The Super Bowl hangover, I don't think it's going to hit them as hard. I feel like they're a well-prepared team. I feel like, if you look at like just Stafford's body transformation when he got to the Rams, I feel like they do a good job of making sure their players are well taken care of. So I just think that they're not going to have that usual Super Bowl hangover, and I think that people are betting against that here, and that's why the Rams aren't favored in this game. I think the Rams should probably be, because they're at home, they should probably be like a 2.5 point favorite. There should be an even game that they would be favored at home. So I'm gonna take the 2.5 points.
I like it. I think there's 2 things driving this line. One is Super Bowl hangover, and how every team that wins the Super Bowl, loses ever in their first week. The second thing being the incredible shootout between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. That's the last impression everyone has of Buffalo, that the Bills can hang with anybody. But nobody remembers that the Chiefs had a shit defense, and they still have a shit defense, and the Rams don't. So I'm with you. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to watch it for sure. And I think if there's a right side to Rams, I would. If I was leaning on a pick, I'd say Rams money line outright.
I know Andy and I both have a teaser related to this game, but we'll tease that for the end. So that gets us through Thursday night. Sunday, we hit the 1 o'clock schedule. You're fired on Red Zone. First game up is New Orleans Saints versus Atlanta, going on the road to Atlanta. I believe New Orleans is a 5.5 or 6 point favorite, depending on the book. Andy, what you got?
So I don't love it. It's a little stinky. I'm going to have to hold my nose for this one. I'm taking Atlanta, and I'm taking the points. I actually really like Jameis. I'm hopeful he'll come back from injury and really kind of show the league what he's got, because he's got more talent than what he's shown in his NFL career so far, I think. But the Saints lost an all-time great coach. There's got to be some drop-off there.
Campbell, exactly.
Yeah. And they're going on the road, and honestly, Marcus Mariota looked way better in preseason than I expected him to. Now, you get all the arguments about he's going against the vanilla defenses, he's going in second and third string.
Sorry, that was funny.
It's true. I'm taking Atlanta. I'm taking the points. They were like the 1 and 2 pick the same year, weren't they? Jameis and Mariota, or did I have those years?
Yeah, Jameis was number 1, Mariota was number 2.
Yeah. So super interesting from that perspective. And
NFL's good at storylines, but saying Mariota looked good in the preseason, you should have said Kyle Pitts looked good in the preseason, not Mariota looked good in the preseason.
Kyle Pitts.
I'm with Andy on this. I mean, if you I mean, it's one thing to go from like the creme de la creme. You got the Bills and the Rams, right? And then you follow that up with Falcons Saints. I don't like it. If you don't want to play the Falcons, I do not blame you at all. But that said, I think public's on the Saints. I think it's hard to win a game in the NFL by more than a touchdown. This is approaching that. Give me the Falcons. I'll take the Falcons. I'm not going to like it.
If I had to bet this game, I would take the Saints because I think that Jeff Blake's going to throw to Joe Horn like 3 times, and there's going to be a cell phone situation with the celebration. So
Can Cordarrelle Patterson throw the ball to himself? Because then I really like it. That dude is going to play every position.
He can run it.
He may be the best quarterback.
Honestly, I really like Jameis's quarterback. I really like Jameis's quarterback. I want to bet the Saints here. I want to bet him.
Fair enough.
I haven't done it yet, but I want to.
All right, we're moving on
Nice
to
time,
the
yeah.
revenge game. We've got the Cleveland Browns going against the fighting Baker Mayfields of Charlotte, North Carolina. We got the Carolina Panthers. I believe the Panthers are a -2.5 point favorite. What you got, Al?
What are you doing?
I think everyone is against the Browns because the whole Deshaun
they
Watson
suck.
deal. Are high.
He's not playing,
People are high on the Panthers. Right, I know. I think Browns have a good team outside of quarterback. I think Jacoby Brissett is the kind of guy who can manage a game. I think Baker Mayfield, that is a curveball. I do see the whole Baker Mayfield going against Cleveland, wants to get his revenge. But I don't think the Panthers are very good. I think the number is right. What are we at? Getting 2.5.
2.5.
2.5?
2.5.
Yeah. I mean, the Browns were 4-point favorites. That's, I guess, thinking. I don't even think that line was set thinking Deshaun Watson was going to play. I don't think anyone thought he was going to play week 1. And then, swinging 6.5 points. I don't know. I don't love it, but I'd rather be getting the points than laying them in this one. So
I will not be watching any Cleveland Browns games this year at all, including the Dolphins Cleveland Browns games. But I will not be betting on any Cleveland Browns games this year, including the Dolphins Cleveland Browns.
The Dolphins.
No, I won't.
When McCaffrey goes down in the second quarter with a hamstring pull for the 18th season in a row, and all of the Panthers' offense comes to a screeching halt, and the Browns cover this one, don't be surprised.
I can tell you for sure that Jacoby Brissett is not, as a Dolphins fan, I can tell you for sure he's not a quarterback that can manage a game well. He's a quarterback that can lose a game by 2.5 points very well. He could definitely lose a game by 2.5 points better than any quarterback out there.
That's a hot take I stand by the way. I think Jacoby Brissett's a better quarterback than Mac Jones.
Ooh,
Mac Jones?
Yeah.
We need to make a spicy take.
Is that hot? Is that hot?
Is it? Oh,
How high on Mac Jones? Huh?
It's probably spicy in Boston. You have, it's about as spicy as
that's just because you said a black guy's better than a white guy, and Boston people don't like that.
That's not allowed in Boston.
If it wasn't for Jamar Chase, Mac Jones would have won Rookie of the Year last year. So people are high on Mac Jones. So
yeah, no, people are just high.
Jamar Chase was awesome, and Mac Jones started 15 games at quarterback.
Happens to be in the conversation.
If you start 15 games at quarterback, you win Rookie of the Year basically as a quarterback. I mean, he was fine, but he's not.
Trevor Lawrence started 16 games and he was not in the conversation.
Point taken. Trevor Lawrence is trash. You win.
Andy, do you have anything else to add?
Duval County is trash, Andy. You win.
Isn't his name McConkle? McConkle Jones?
McCorkle. It's McCorkle.
No, get the fuck out of here. What's the next
The only thing I want to add to that one is people talk about the revenge game. In my mind, you have to be a good quarterback for a revenge game to matter because you have to have that extra level, right? Tom Brady can take you to the extra level. Aaron Rodgers can take you to the extra level. I don't believe that Baker Mayfield has an extra level to take you to. So
I'm just if this were a around the horn, I'd be giving you all the points.
Yeah,
if I were
yeah.
Tony and around the horn, I'd be giving you all the points for that take.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I should have just shut up and we should cut everything I said and just like turn Andy's volume up.
It was a good take.
Yeah.
I do think that's an interesting game, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for Matt Rule to be the first coach fired this year. Everyone's been waiting for this offensive genius, and you know how cruel the NFL is, Al.
Yeah, I do think Andy has a teaser in mind with Cleveland, and I think teasing Cleveland up to like 8.5 that's free money. Anything you want to tease with that, yes, all the way.
Stay tuned till the end. We'll give you all the teasers, baby. We got you.
Yeah.
Let's throw it over to San Francisco, Chicago. We're gonna go with Al here.
Yeah, that's another one. The running theme this week is stinky teams getting points, and I think people are really high on the 49ers this year. I think Trey Lance, the heir apparent. I don't know. It's going to be his like first real start as the like undisputed starter. Bears perennially have a good defense. The Bears are supposed to be a very bad team this year, but I don't know. I mean, I think they may not be good, but they're not going to be bad. And it's the difference between the worst team in the NFL and the best team in the NFL is not that big. And you're giving me a touch in Chicago. I could easily see this being like a backdoor cover thing where maybe the 49ers still win, but they win by 6, or they win by 3 or 4. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, the numbers stayed at 7, and I think that's probably the right play at 7. If it goes to 7.5, I'm going to join you on it for sure.
Yeah.
More than a touchdown at away. I know Chicago may not be particularly good, and we'll see if the Justin Fields project is worth its reclamation price, but I think that's probably the play. I'm with you there.
I like Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. That's the right pick. That's it.
We got the working man's game coming up next. We're in the AFC North. We got Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. We've got 2 different sides. I'm going to let Danny go first. Danny, what you got on Pittsburgh, Cincinnati?
What I have on Pittsburgh, Cincinnati is that Pittsburgh is going to be starting a UNC quarterback that failed in 2 different places already. And Cincinnati is going to be starting Joe Burrow. That's enough, right? That's enough?
Not a bad point. It's not a bad point.
Joe Burrow over Mitch Trubisky. Joe Burrow over Mitch Trubisky. That's worth like 14 points. So the rest of the game is worth apparently everybody's valuing everything else worth 8 points, and I don't think it is.
Al, what you got?
It's a good argument. Let me tell you why you're wrong. Steelers, they got a little thing called defense. They got a running back that picks up 6 yards no matter what. They got a shitty quarterback. I'll give you that. But they got some talent. The Steelers are never going to be a 3-win team. Okay, I've seen it too many times. They are a middle-of-the-road team at worst. They got a high floor. They may not be, your 12-win team every year, but what's his face? What's the name of the coach? Mike
Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin. Man, he's good. He's probably the most underrated coach in the NFL. The Steelers are going to know how to play. The Bengals are going to be. This is where the Bengals mindset's going to be. Okay, for all the Super Bowl hangover talk we had with the Rams and how they're getting points instead of giving them, the Bengals are going to be the team that are hungover. The Bengals are the team that lost that Super Bowl.
They didn't win, though. You don't get the Super Bowl.
They think made it there. They think they're this caliber, and they're not.
But you don't get the Super Bowl hangover when you lose the Super Bowl.
Jamar Chase, really good. But
the numbers say you don't get the Super Bowl hangover when you lose the Super Bowl.
Isn't there a famous stat that says the team that loses the Super Bowl has a hard time getting back to the playoffs? Am I incorrect about this? I'm going to do some research.
I don't know. That sounds
That's
Not
not
in
what
week
I was
one.
thinking.
I don't
Not
think
in week one.
the Bengals
Not
are
in week
8-win.
one.
Bengals are 8-win team max.
Wow,
Two
you
wins.
dropped some freezing cold takes, man. I wish we could read.
We need to record that. Please mark it on the thing. 8-win team.
What's our minute mark? 15 minutes? Put it down.
Yeah.
The Bengals
Excellent.
are not the fucking AFC leading team. Okay, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win the division. They're
Not
going
gonna
to
make the playoffs?
Not going to make the playoffs.
Then who's winning the AFC North?
Danny, listen to what you're saying. The Bengals are locked for the playoffs. Are you 1 year old? Have you not lived on this earth?
Dude, they're in a division with the Steelers, the Ravens, and the fucking
yeah, they're
Colts,
gonna
right?
fucking finish third.
The Browns. The Ravens are going to be better this year.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Ravens
I
are
think the
winning that
Ravens are the team to watch in the division.
But to
For sure.
8 wins, not make the playoffs, like with that passion, Al, I appreciate your passion. I don't agree with anything.
Now I'm doubling down. Somebody mark it. Put it down.
No, I'm just enjoying a beer.
I'm gonna either chug a lot of beers, or all three of you are gonna chug while I gloat like a mother.
I'll ChuggieBet you with this right now that they get over 8 wins. You know there's 17 games now.
Yeah. What's their win
Let's
total?
put the boys. I'll settle this.
All right.
Eight
No,
and a
I'll
half.
ChuggieBet right now. Oh, 8.5. I got over. You got under.
Okay.
That's fair
Done.
enough.
All right.
Let's put it at 9.
What the fuck are you trying to like?
Why don't we do this? How
What
many
happened
wins
to
do you
this
think the Bengals
conviction,
are?
Al? What the?
All right. Let's put it at 7.5. No.
Yeah,
There you go. That's
that's a man with some cojones.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we've spent 6 minutes talking about Pittsburgh, Cincy. Let's move over to Philly, Detroit. We're going to be at the Silver Dome for this game, or whatever, Ford Field. Now, I think we got some plays on this. I think Al and Andy are lockstep. What you guys got? Let's go Andy first.
No, I'm going to throw it to Al. This is his team, and he's already fired up. So,
Yeah.
Al, you go first.
So I love it. This is, again, a team. You want to talk about the AFC most overrated team, the Bengals. For the NFC, it's the Eagles. People are talking about the Eagles for the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? This is a 7-win team. This is not a good team. This is not a bad team, but this is a team that if they don't run for 200 yard points, that's going to be the stat to watch for me. You got for the Lions, you've got players that looked really good in the preseason that are not big names, and if they can do their job up front and keep the Eagles under 100 and 150 yards, somewhere in that range, Lions are going to win this game. The Lions,
Well, they have the one wide
game
receiver
that-
that's a scorpion and like a snapdragon and a spider, according to Dan Campbell. And you can't fuck with that combination. That's a
Yeah.
dangerous
That's
combination.
lethal.
Snapdragon and a spider. How many are biting ankles or ripping off knees? Who's got how many ass cheeks do they have?
3
And
toes and an ass cheek.
I do
Yeah,
think
3
there's a
toes
lot
and
of
one
hype
ass
on the
cheek.
Lions, and I'm not trying to oversell the hype on the Lions, but man, you look at the schedule, and it is hard not to see 8 wins from Lions. That's
Bro,
a
as an
lot.
outsider,
Like,
it's hard not to see the less than 8 wins.
I mean, I'm not betting them to win over 8, but I definitely would bet them to win over 6.5 or 6 with whatever their season projected win total was. But I just think the Lions almost
I'm
every
just
game
throwing
last
this out
year.
there. I'm just
was
throwing this.
within a
I've
field
had
goal.
Man Campbell as my coach before. We've done this. We've done this game.
Yeah.
We've played this game. It
Yeah,
ends
and he was
in
great.
a way.
He was great as an interim, and you guys cut bait, and now it's Detroit's game.
What do you
I'm
mean
telling
he
you,
was
this
great as
game's
an
in
interim? He was
Detroit.
great for like a
Getting
game.
4 points.
He was great for
You're telling
one
me-
game, and then all of a sudden, everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna run the ball and throw to the tight
Hey,
end."
how many games
Shock.
did they win before him?
It's a fair point.
I don't watch the Lions. I'm gonna have to rely on you for that.
No,
So-
when he was the
Yeah.
Dolphins interim coach, like we we fired. He replaced like Cam Cameron or something like that. It was a
I think it was Philbin.
No, it's the old dude
Was it
from the
Phil-
Packers.
what's the
Yeah,
difference
Joe
between
Philbin.
Philbin and Cam Cameron, Andy?
Yeah,
What is the difference
Packers
between Joel Philbin
version of
and
Blair
Cam Cameron?
Coker.
One
Philbin
sleeping
hair.
cap when they go to bed. One of them wears a sleeping cap. The other one doesn't. They're the same person.
The one holds
Joe
the
Philbin
candle.
wears the sleeping
on the
cap.
plate.
Cam Cameron came from the Chargers. They were both offensive geniuses. One of them fails forward fast, and the other doesn't. I think that was
Joel
Cam Cameron
Philbin,
that fails
Joel
forward fast.
Philbin is Larry Coker in teal.
Oh,
That's fair.
for all your freezing cold takes, that's a winner.
So
Yeah,
I
good one.
I hate it, but I actually am on the same bet as Al. I'm taking Detroit +4. I don't buy the Philly hype this year. I got some really good friends that are huge Eagles fans. Just keep enjoying that last Super Bowl, guys, because this is not the year. Normally, I like to fade the Hard Knocks team because people get like way too excited. People buy in. They like all these no-name players like Al's talking about. But I do think that the city and the stadium will be hyped for this game. I think it'll be loud. I think whether or not the Lions are ready, the fans will be ready. I just see this closer to a coin flip game, so I'm taking the points. I'm getting more than a field goal. So give me Detroit
If you
+4.
like Philly in this game and you want to bet Philly, my Philly bet would be like first half. I could see Philly jumping out to like a 10-point lead at halftime, and then the Lions coming back in the second half, maybe backdooring it. But I would not bet Eagles on the full game spread.
Is Michael Vick still Philly's quarterback? I'm very not up to date.
It's Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
All right, guys, let's take a step back. The NFC East is not great. You're either going to go Dallas. You're going to either Dallas is going to Dallas themselves, right? Dak's really good, and their offense is going to be good, but who the hell knows? Are you going to take the Commanders?
Hold on, they're saying their offense is good is a blanket statement, but Zeke isn't that good anymore, man. He should be their second tier running back.
He may be good at the chili hot dog eating contest, but I don't know if he can run the ball.
If Carson Wentz gets hurt and Taylor Heineke takes over under center,
Exactly.
the Commanders could contend.
Could improve.
But not
Could improve.
Carson Wentz. I'm not betting on him to make playoffs.
And then the Giants, we're going to talk about in a little bit still.
I had a great long shot bet last year on Taylor Heineke. I don't know if you guys remember this, that I was betting. I was like rooting for the R words so hard because they were still the football team. But it didn't work out. But they had a chance, man. They had a chance. They could have won that division. It was so close until 3 weeks left. But
Philly's best chance to win a lot of games is because their division is kind of suspect, right? They're not particularly good.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean a rising Detroit team with Equanimous St. Brown, or no, they have Amon-Ra, and Mr. St. Brown supporting them. Terrifying. He should be the mascot of Detroit. The city is Mr. St. Brown.
He is.
I want him and Dan Campbell on
Helmet's got him on there.
Al, who's your quarterback in Detroit?
Jared Goff.
All right, that's all I gotta say. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on, boys. Let's move on. We got the next game. The New England Patriots and the Bill Belicheks have been in South Beach for 5 days to get accustomed to the 900-degree heat that is in Miami.
You're gonna need more than that. I did just say Jacoby Brissett's better than Mac Jones, but if I were taking a side here, I'd be taking the Pats. I do like the Dolphins this year.
You'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. You know why? Because the Pats have been coming down to Miami to play for like 10 years, and they just keep losing, or at the very least not covering their 14-point spreads when they come down here with Tom Brady. And
I do like Miami to win. This could low-key be the game of the week.
I honestly think this is the game of the week, man. Belichick has always had trouble with Miami. I don't know what it is. I think, honestly, this is my bullshit conspiracy theory I'm going to throw out there. Belichick's a low-key partier, And when he comes down to Miami, he just hits up South Beach too hard, or he's getting on yachts and shit. And he does not focus
Lotus
enough on the
flower
game.
or whatever it is.
That's my theory. Belichick's a low-key partier, and he just isn't doing it right when he comes to Miami. That's why they always lose to us down here. Because when we go up there, they whoop our ass. When we go up there, they whoop our ass. But when they come down here, for some reason, like Patrick Chung needs to make like an interception at the end of the game to beat us if they're ever going to even do it.
Danny, there's zero chance that is accurate. What could be accurate, though, is that Robert Kraft is dragging him along to massage parlors and parties and making him go to things. There's no way.
Man, I think you're sleeping on Belichick. I think, dude, he gets along with his players so well. I think he's a low-key partier.
I got since we're talking Pats, Dolphins, if you guys want spicy takes, I'm full of them right now. Pats are a 6-win team. This is a bad Patriots team. The veneer
Dolphins are going to the playoffs.
Dolphins
are going to the playoffs this year.
Bill Belichick Patriots, it's gone. Nobody fears the Patriots anymore. They're done. This is going to be a putrid offense, decent at best defense. This is going to be, they're going to rival like your Bears, your Seahawks, your Texans. It's going to be, they're going to be a bottom. They're going to be drafting top 5.
I hear you, bud, but I don't think they're as bad as you think they are, but I think the Dolphins are better than you think they are. I think McDaniel is the next great offensive mind coming out of the Shanahan tree. And when I say Shanahan, I don't mean Kyle, I mean Mike.
I know a lot of guys thought they were geniuses with a bong in their hand, Danny.
We talked about Cam Cameron, Joel Philbin. We've talked about offensive geniuses that have worked in that city.
Yeah, but they were all coming from some quarterback that made them an offensive genius. The guy that made this guy an offensive genius was Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, right? It was Raheem Mostert.
I'll drink.
Right? So he was an offensive genius in San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo as his quarterback. The best quarterback he's ever had was Matt Ryan, and the best season Matt Ryan ever had was while he was their offensive or not offensive coordinator, but I think quarterback's coach or running game coordinator or whatever he was doing there.
He's really good.
He's a great offensive mind, and he knows he's a really hard worker. I really like this coach, and I'm obviously homering this shit up, but I like this coach. I like this coach. I do not like Tua as a quarterback, but I like Tua as a quarterback with Mike McDaniel.
Yeah,
I love Waddle. Waddle is awesome. Waddle is going to be amazing this year. I honestly am I'm a little. I wanted to see how good Waddle would be without Tyreek Hill on this team, because I feel like he would have like flourished into one of the best players in the league, and now he's going to have to be like overshadowed by the best player in the league because we have Tyreek Hill.
I don't think that's true because Tyreek Hill was sharing the field with Travis Kelce, and they were both incredible. So I think there's room to share the ball around.
I think they're both used in similar ways, but I think if you focus on using Tyreek in the deep, stretching the field, like he did, he also played a lot of the short stuff. But if you let Waddle do the short
let's
stuff,
be honest, Tua's not going to stretch the field too deep. He can't throw that far.
You could have a mix and match because they're very similar. So you could have Waddle could get more deep opportunities if you let Hill take some.
Nobody's getting the ball deep. Nobody's getting the ball deep. It all has to be within 15 yards.
No, this is Tua's comeback tour. He's going to look amazing. He's fully healed.
I agree with you. Tua's going to be great this year. Tua's very accurate. Tua is very accurate within the line of scrimmage to 15 yards. He just doesn't have the arm strength to be like the best downfield thrower, and he won't have to be in this offense. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be real fun to see how far he can throw it when Tyreek Hill's got 20 yards on a defender.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't outthrow Tyreek Hill. It's not like everybody's going to be talking shit about Tua's arm strength because he's like underthrowing Tyreek Hill, but like Tyreek Hill was coming back for.
That's all matters.
Danny, you're arguing on for my side now. Like
no,
let's just move on.
I'm arguing on both sides. I'm arguing on both sides of this. But what my point is that like if you're talking about Tyreek Hill, like you could put Jeff George out there and he can't outthrow Tyreek Hill. You could snap it, he could throw it as far as he can, and all of a sudden Tyreek Hill's under the ball coming back for it because you have the greatest arms in history. He's just too fast. He's too good.
All right. On that note, let's just transition.
Listen,
Sip the
Jets are going to
fucking
beat the hell out of the Ravens this week. That
Jets.
was a poor transition. No, the Jets are going to cover, though.
Joey, I know you listen. Joey, I know you listen. They're not going to cover. They're not. I'm sorry.
The Jets are going to cover. The West Coast Eagles are going to cover.
They're still going to suck.
This is another instance of the NFL writers being amazing, though, right? Because Flacco's starting, and they're playing Baltimore. Like, there's so many of those this week.
I don't even think Zach Wilson's injured.
I think the Flacco-led Jets are not going to stand up to Baltimore. I think Lamar is going to be amazing this year, and Baltimore runs away with it.
I think the Jets are going to be amazing this year. I mean, maybe not amazing, but I think the Jets are going to. I think they're going to have the better defense in this game.
Zach Wilson's starting, and there's old ladies on the other team. The Jets will be amazing, but
I need to call a timeout. Who wins more games, the Jets or the Patriots? Because you've had some hot takes on both. Do the Jets out? Do the Jets
Dolphins? Do you think they're all going to be bad?
That's
those two.
Fun. I think they probably finish within a game of each other. I'll put it that way.
Okay, within a game of each other.
What about the Dolphins? You've really shat on the AFC East.
Dolphins,
and then you are lifting up Detroit. Like you're being a hard
man.
Dolphins 10 wins.
My man.
10 wins.
All right, guys, let's move on to a different game. We covered that quickly. Zach Wilson will be in the over 40 section probably. And we will move over to Jacksonville, Washington, which I actually think will be a great and interesting game for the worst reason. Because I don't know what to make of either of these teams. The Commanders are weird. I kind of think Jacksonville has some room for growth here. I like Etienne and I like Trevor Lawrence, and I think there could be some growth when their head coach isn't kicking people and fingering buttholes. But there's a lot of potential in this game. What do you guys at? Oh, Al's gone.
I got Al left right before the Jags. Of course, the Jags fan leaves right before the Jags. My take on this is very simple. Washington is a terrible organization that treats people poorly, including they basically did all that shit with their cheerleaders. Dan Gilbert. Is it Dan Gilbert? Is it? No. Dan Gilbert's the Cavs. Who's their? Schneider. Yeah, it's the other piece of shit billionaire. Like all the billionaires.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's the other piece of shit billionaire. So Schneider is their owner. He runs a shitty organization, and they haven't been able to find a coach. They haven't been able to find a quarterback. They haven't been able to have any sort of consistency. The Jacksonville, on the other hand, I feel like the cons are, even though they hired the wrong coach because he seemed like a good guy, it turns out Urban Meyer, not that good of a guy. We all thought he was a good guy, not that good of a guy. So they'll get this turned around. The cons know what they're doing. I feel like Snyder does not. So I honestly like the Jags long term here, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be better this year than he was last year. So I like them in this game. I do not like them this season, but I like them in this game.
Danny, I know almost a million people here that would have laughed out loud hearing you say the cons know what they're doing. I think.
Do you watch WWE? Do you watch wrestling? I'm sorry, this is a bad take, but do you watch wrestling? Because they're basically taking on Vince McMahon and winning. So
I've heard good things about what Tony Khan's doing at AEW there, but
I think it's all the Khan dad's education. He really he's got a great education, and that's what
yeah. So let me just give you the breakdown on this game here, okay? You've got the Jags as 2.5-point dogs on the road in Washington. That means neutral site. The books are saying the Jags win this game. No.
By half a point.
Commanders have a better team.
It's the same bad team.
Everyone wants the Jags to be really good, and they want to be really good right now.
What world are we living in that people want the Jags to be good? Nobody cares if the Jags are good.
Jacksonville. That's the world he's living in that wants the Jags to be good.
Yeah. So,
literally.
So, yeah, I just think it's too much too soon.
Sorry.
I think the Commanders have more talent. I think they have the best player on the field on either side of the ball. and his name is Terry McLaurin.
He's
I
good.
think the second best player is not going to be playing, Chase Young. And it's in Washington, and it's Doug Peterson's
I think Fred Taylor and Keenan
game. I
McCardle
think
are
there's
going to
going
be
to be a lot of rust to be knocked off.
So, Al, you're
I
neglecting.
think this game happened 10 weeks from now. Jacksonville, maybe this line makes sense. Week 1,
You're
though.
neglecting the most important position on the field, though. Like, I know Trevor Lawrence didn't look good in his rookie year last year, but he was still touted as a generational talent. Like, give him a year to get used to the. Doug Peterson has been to the promised land with Big Dick Nick, right? Like, if he can do that with Big Dick Nick, like, he can do something with Trevor Lawrence. Like, they have a huge advantage at the quarterback position.
Andy, look at what Clemson was with Trevor Lawrence. Look at what Clemson is without Trevor Lawrence. That matters.
Exactly.
This dude was good. He is good.
Yeah.
Just because he was bad when he had
Are the
Urban
Jags
Meyer.
playing Washington or are they playing Bama?
Yeah. Guys, look what Florida State.
Well, his coach isn't Urban Meyer anymore either, Al.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We've got that. We've covered the 1 o'clock slate. Indy and Houston. Sorry, I think
425 slate is good, man. The late red zone slate is good this time.
Yeah, it is. I think Davis Mills will be good, better. I think Houston's going to be better, but I think Indiana. I'm super excited to watch the Colts with Matt Ryan, but we have no picks on that game, so we're going to move to 425. We're going to be in Glendale or Phoenix, Arizona. I'm not exactly sure what city.
Tempe, maybe.
Tempe.
Flagstaff.
I don't know.
Scottsdale.
It's going to be Sandy.
You guys are naming college cities.
Yeah.
You guys are playing the college city game.
Scottsdale. It's going to be sandy. There's going to be cactuses outside. We have the Chiefs coming into Arizona, into the Kyler Murray country. And I think
Matt,
Danny has a play.
Can you give me a piece? Again, busy season. I haven't researched everything. Did Larry Fitzgerald retire yet?
That's a good question.
I don't think so.
I don't think he did either. No.
And
because I'm pretty sure he's still playing. As long as Larry Fitzgerald's playing,
DeAndre Hopkins still playing.
I might switch my pick if Larry Fitzgerald's still out there.
He's suspended.
Yeah, Hopkins is not playing.
Hopkins.
So I want to take the Chiefs. I want to take the Chiefs. But if Larry Fitzgerald's still out there, I'm flipping my pick because I haven't actually made the bet yet. I gotta know. Can somebody look this up for me with the internet real quick?
I see Larry Fitzgerald is a former American football wide receiver. So
he's retired. He's retired. I'm still on my Chiefs. I'm still on the Chiefs.
Oh, he's joining the Monday Night Football booth, which we'll talk about on TikTok.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's right. We'll pick that game with Larry Fitzgerald doing the.
Danny, if you want an update on the Cardinals receiver situation, you've got Marquise Brown, AJ Green.
No, I don't need the Cardinals receiver situation. It was really just Larry Fitzgerald first week. He crushes it. And if he's going against Kansas City, he's going to step his game up. And if he's not playing, then I don't need that. So I'm just going to stick with my Kansas City pick because Kansas City's way better.
Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, and Rondale Moore. I don't think one of those guys is over 5'8". I don't have anything to add to that. I just think that's
whoa.
I literally all start on the Chelsea attack.
I leave for 30 seconds and we start short shaming. I do not appreciate it. It's unacceptable.
Raheem Sterling, Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic.
Yeah. We get it. But I don't think they're particularly tall. Yes, I think you've got a point. All right, so Danny, we never got your pick. You want to go Kansas City here?
Kansas City -6. Taking it. I'm in. Kansas City -6. They're gonna. Travis Kelce's gonna score 2 touchdowns. Boom, done.
I love that pick.
I'm in like a weird position here where I think the Chiefs aren't going to be as good as they have been, and the Cardinals also aren't going to be as good as they were last year. But I think I like the Cardinals to cover. I don't know. I'm not playing it.
Fair enough. We're going out to Los Angeles, but not the Rams. We're going to Justin Herbert country, where the Raiders are coming in to face the Chargers. I know Danny has a pick in this game.
This pick is simple. I think eyeliner beats great hair. So I'm going with the eyeliner here. I'm picking the Raiders. I think Derek Carr is a better quarterback than anybody gives him. He gets discounted in the NFL because it looks like he's wearing eyeliner, even though, is he wearing it? Is he not? Who knows?
Just
But
got great eyes.
it looks like he's wearing eyeliner, and everybody discounts him because it makes him seem a little,
This is my favorite game to watch of the weekend for what it's worth.
I'm watching this for sure.
I'm really intrigued to watch the Chargers, who everyone is hyping up a ton, right? And I understandably so. They're super talented, but them taking in the Raiders with all the additions in the offseason, it's gonna be an excellent game. This is the game I'm most excited to watch over the weekend. Anyone have anything else?
Herbert's great. Herbert's great. I wish we took him over Tua. Sorry, go ahead, Al.
You said you like eyeliner over hair. You heard it here first, folks. Danny's an Alice Cooper fan.
Hey, Alice Cooper had both.
That's true.
I
like interested to see the Raiders offense. They added a huge weapon. Why did I just totally blank? The guy from Green Bay.
Whose name we could never remember because Aaron Rodgers is throwing in the ball. Nobody can remember.
Yeah, and he's got a stud tight end in Waller. I'm excited to see what they can do. So yeah, I'm with
Devontae
Matt
Adams or Jarvis Landry. I can't remember which one's which.
Because they're both so good.
We all know.
How many catches do you think?
Chuck's too inside. That Chuck's too inside for the podcast. Sorry.
We'll tell the story someday.
I'm curious to see how Hunter Renfrow gets run in this offense. He was such a fantasy monster last year, and Devontae really Adams on the other side. They could be pretty entertaining. I just don't like seeing Josh Jacobs run the ball because it's so boring. It's honestly, so uninspired.
Honestly, Matt, Carr is a great quarterback.
I agree.
So Carr, people don't like Carr because of the eyeliner. We have brought that up, but he leads the league in Pro Football Focus is what they call big time throws, BTTs.
Ooh, I love big time.
He leads the league in big time throws over the last 5 years. So he literally has the most.
He leads them in big TTs.
BTTs.
Yeah, but the B is for big.
Yeah, so big TTs. Sorry, I see what you did there, Al. This is a family show. Is it?
This one is not a family show. The college football show is very safe. Everyone.
Before we jump to the next game, though, I just want to say, is there a more highly regarded quarterback who's done less with more than Justin Herbert?
Okay, let's take a step back. He's been in the league for 2 years, dude. And everyone's
3.
Has it been 3?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this will be his third because this is Tua's third.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. But for all the shit that Tua gets, for instance, Herbert doesn't get any of that. It's all, this team would have been better, it's because of Herbert.
To be fair, Al, Justin Herbert's 6'6" and has long flowing blonde hair, and Tua's 6'3" or 6'2".
I think it's an interesting matchup because I kind of agree with you, Al. Everyone is adorning Justin Herbert with the crown, and I don't see it yet.
Dude, he makes some great throws.
He also makes some boneheaded throws though too.
Yeah,
and Staley does some boneheaded shit. He does dumb shit all the time. He's always going for 4th and 8 from his own 20. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I understand he's trying to be innovative and exciting, but he does dumb shit all the time.
Big arm Jay Cutler. Big arm Jay Cutler.
Oh,
you mean Jay Cutler? Jay Cutler has the biggest arm that I've ever seen play football.
Okay,
I think.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. Slightly smaller arm. Jay Cutler.
Bigger than Sammy.
I think Herbert might smoke less.
But Herbert,
less cigarette. Looks less like he's smoking a cigarette all the time. Jay Cutler is what you meant.
Yes.
Well, let's be fair. Herbert in his first 2 seasons threw for 69 touchdowns, nice, and 25 picks. So
nice.
That's pretty.
Also, the most anybody's ever done in their first 2 seasons, right? He broke Marino's record.
Look, I'm just hating out of my heritage and the team I root for, but there may be more.
I'm not saying
better hair.
Better hair. Here and I think he's here. I'm more everyone thinks he's here, and I think he's here. You guys
I think you're right. I think he's closer to Jay Cutler, but I just think he has better hair and he doesn't look like he's smoking cigarettes all the time.
Yeah.
So out of Joe Buck being gone out of the 4 o'clock window and moving to Monday, we had the last 3 games were mostly relying on teasers, but we can talk about them really quick. We got an NFC North battle between Green Bay and Minnesota. I don't know if anyone has an opinion there, but
I think.
Yeah, I don't have a side, but if I had to, I'd probably take the points with Minnesota, but I don't know. I don't like it.
So people have been making this argument about Tom Brady for years, and they're wrong every year. But at some point, Aaron Rodgers has to start dropping off, and I don't think he's taking care of his body the way Tom Brady is. He's doing drugs and eating acorns that his wife finds in the woods. Like, I'm not sure how much Aaron Rodgers still even wants to play.
Do you know who does take care of their body? Do you know who does take care of their body the way that Tom Brady does?
Who's that?
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah?
That dude loves Jesus and loves nutrition more than anybody.
Does Kirk Cousins look like the kind of guy who drinks a glass of milk with it like a steak? Is there anyone else in the league?
He looks like the kind of guy who sets an alarm for 2:30 a.m. to have a glass of milk.
Oh, he's got to make sure he has his evening milk proteins.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Kirk Cousins, man. He's so good. But he definitely is a nutrition guy. A different kind of nutrition maybe than Tom Brady because it's not like as much avocado ice cream. It might be more like beef.
It also might be less like South Beach injections.
Yeah, he's going to let his hair turn gray when it turns gray. Anyway, I'm a huge Kirk Cousins fan, and I if I had to bet this, I didn't bet it, but if I had to.
No, but I think teasing this with
Aaron
what was it, the Browns, put those two together. Is that what you were thinking, Matt?
No, we'll get in the teasers in a second, but I do think there is value to teasing this game as well. We have the Giants versus the Titans.
Daniel Jones is going to run for yards. There's nothing else to talk about in that game. Move on.
Everyone and their brother is on the Titans, so fade the public, take the Giants, and don't like it.
No, I just said in your fantasy league, pick up Daniel Jones. He'll run for yards. Don't bet it at all. The line has no value.
And then drop him. Is that Austin's plan?
No, Austin's plan is you guys screwed him on quarter. Anyway, that's another way too inside.
All right, so I think that works us through the 4:25 window. Now we've got some changes in the evening window. We're losing our beloved Al Michaels to Amazon. So we got Mike Tirico taking over with Collinsworth.
I like Tirico, though.
I love Mike Tirico.
I like Tirico.
Love Mike Tirico. And then in Monday evening, we got your boy Joe Buck.
Wait. Did you say Chris Collinsworth?
Yeah, he's coming. Sliden. Captain Sliden is coming.
Yeah.
On that game. So we will have both of those games on our TikTok. So please feel free, go to @ChuggieBets on TikTok. We'll have some more information about those games. But before we go, we've been teasing teasers all night, which is sexy wordplay. Andy, do you have some teaser information you want to talk about?
Yeah, so just in general, real quick, some teaser guidelines. I think I put a TikTok out about this last year. So when you're at our TikTok, scroll back to the old videos. Some do's and don'ts about teasers. We're talking about 6-point 2-team teasers. You don't want to lay more than 120. So if you don't have multiple books, open another book somewhere, find one that gives you the 2-team 6-point teaser. You're looking to do dogs that are between 1.5 and 2.5. Add that 6 points. You're going to get them up over 7. Or favorites that are between 7.5 and 8.5, tease them down by 6 points. You're going to get them under 3. So you want to pick 2 of those, put them together. Don't tease totals. And I know this is an NFL pod, but don't tease college football sides or totals.
Zach, don't tease totals, Zach. I know you listen. Don't tease totals. You suck at gambling, Zach. Don't tease totals.
All right, we got it.
So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about teasers. If you want to get a little spicier, you can add 3-team 6-point teasers. You're going to want to look for plus 150 or better there. I have a book that pays plus 180, so there are good numbers out there on those.
Andy, you said plus 1.5 to plus 3.5 as a dog, and
1.5 to 2.5.
2.5.
If you already get 3.5, you're already getting the field goal, so you're not.
So to make it real simple, you're trying to cross 3 and 7 either way. So
Yes.
if you're getting plus and you're going that direction, you want to be at 2.5 to cross the 3.5 and the 7.5. If you're getting a favorite, you want to be at 7 or 8 so you can cross the 7 and the 3 to get down to the 2 or the 1.
Sure.
Those are the teasers you want to look at. There's a whole book of Wong Teasers on it. Andy's read it. I've read it. It's really just a waste of time to read the whole thing. That's the value that you'll find. And as long as it's under as it's under -120, the odds that they're giving you on those type of teasers, it's worth taking.
These teasers were huge last year. So many of them hit. Like Danny said, they're called Wong Teasers because Stanford Wong, not his real name, by the way. I think he wanted to sound like a really smart Asian dude when he's really just a white dude. But Stanford Wong wrote the book. They were huge last year. Like I won so much on these. There's a chance that regression is coming, but historically these have been winners. So I'm going to keep playing them. We mentioned some as we went through, but some of the ones I like for teasers are teasing the Rams up, teasing the Browns up, teasing the Jags up, teasing Minnesota up. So those are some of the ones I like. Make some combination of 2s and 3s of those and put them together.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna give a pick on the Sunday Monday night games, but Dallas is also a teaser we like too because they are in there at that. I believe they're plus. No, they're
I might
minus
actually go play
7.5,
some of these
right?
right now.
No, Dallas is like
Dallas is plus 2.5. Dallas is plus 2.5, right?
Yeah.
So that gets us to our perfect spot. We're going to talk about our favorite bets. They're called ChuggieBets. We chug a beer if we're wrong, and we hand out a beer if we're right on the NFL side. Let's go around the horn. Danny, what is your chuggy bet for the week?
I don't want to go first because I just want to do whatever Al says the other side of.
Okay, let's go to Andy. What's your favorite chuggy bet of the week?
Ooh, that might change mine.
So I think my favorite chuggy bet of the week is teasing the Jags and the Cowboys. They're both plus 2.5, so a 6-point teaser gets you to plus 8.5 on both of those. I really like both of those.
That's a great bet that I'm going to make this week. I'm going to make that this week. It might be a 2-unit bet. It might be a 2-unit bet.
I was looking up bets, Andy. What was your teaser?
The Jags and the Cowboys. Tease them both up to plus 8.5.
All right, Al.
Those are 2 coin flip bets that you can get a ton of points. I love it.
Exactly.
I was going to say Detroit plus 4 is my chuggy bet, but there's this whole he's going to take the other side. It's got me thinking I should make him root for Jacksonville. But
whatever you want, bud. I'm on the other side of whatever you pick.
Let's do it. I'm going to change my chuggy bet from Detroit plus 4 to Washington minus 2.5. So
I'm so happy to root for Jacksonville. If you made me root for Washington, that would have made me mad. The only 2 teams you could make me root for that I would have gone back on were Washington or Cleveland. I would not root for Washington or Cleveland. So.
Or the Patriots.
No, I would have rooted. I mean, I would have chugged the beer. Yeah. I would have happily chugged the beer if the Dolphins won. But
Matt,
anyway.
what do you got, bud?
Yeah, my favorite pick of the week, I'm teasing like Andy is. I'm taking the Rams, similar to what Andy talked about earlier. I'm taking them from 2.5 up to 8.5, and I'm taking the Vikings from 1.5 to 7.5. There's a ton of value there. I don't know what to make of Green Bay. They lost a ton of offensive talent with Devontae Adams going out the door. Look, Aaron Rodgers is great. He'll probably find it. They got a gang of running backs that'll be good. But plus 7.5 feels good to me when Skull Country. And I think the Rams are a nice play at 8.5. So that's what I'm going with there. All right. All right, everyone. Excuse me.
I'd like to fade Aaron Rodgers' tattoo somehow. I don't know how to do it this week, but at some point during this season, I'm going to fade that tattoo.
You take bleach on your rag and rub it against the arm. That's how you fade the tattoo. Everybody, thank you so much for joining our NFL Week 1 podcast. We appreciate it. Please feel free to like, subscribe. We love all y'all. We appreciate everything you've done for us. And we'll be here next week. Cheers.
Give us some feedback. Woo! Cheers.